Hello and welcome to another tutorial brought to you by talkingexcel.com. This is the third in a series of screencasts looking at array formulas, and today we're going to be looking at how we can use array formulas to summarize data by counting the number of values which fall within a range within a data table. So I'm just going to show you initially what we're going to end up with so you can see whether this video is going to give you what you want without sitting all the way through to the end and then finding that's not what I wanted to know. So I have a range of data with dates. They're not all in order, just to show that we don't need to have ordered dates in order for this to work. A list of countries as headers in columns, and then a number of values, each one being invoices that have been raised in that city on this date. What I'd like to do is to summarize this data though, to know how many invoices were raised in each city within a given month. Okay, so this is where I've summarized my data, and as we can see for New York it said that there are 3 invoices in January. Okay, so let's just double check that. So New York, we got the 3rd of Jan 200, we got the 6th of Jan 400. Oh, only 2, no, come down the bottom, and we've got another one here, number 3. No other Januaries in there. So you can see this data has been summarized. Now how did I do that? Well, we've used an array formula. This is what it's going to look like, and in a minute I'm going to delete it and I'm going to recreate it and just talk you through what I'm doing as I do so. Okay, so let's get rid of the formula and we'll get rid of the data in all those cells and we'll start from scratch. Okay, so starting with the equal sign, we are going to use a sum function, and within that we're going to put an if statement. We're going to use some logic, and we'll be using the sum function to count, which might sound not quite right, but the idea being is that each time the if statement returns a logical true, it will actually return a 1, and if it returns false it will return a 0, and our sum function will capture those for each of the intersections between the city and the month. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give our function a range of data we want to look at, which is our values, and we'll close that. We then want an and sign, which is the multiplication sign. If you've watched my other videos on using array formulas, you'll know that a plus is an or and a multiplication sign is and. So the next thing we're going to do is match our month. So we are going to say month. So we're going to look at just the month portion of our date column, and we only want to be interested in counting those if they equal the month of our test value. And we're going to come back in a minute and lock off these columns so we can just drag this formula around and not have to mess around changing formulas, but I'll just put the whole formula in first. So month equals I4, close it off, and then and now we want to look at our cities. So if our city equals our test city, and then if all those are true we want to return a 1, and if they're false we want to return a 0. And close off the if, close off the sum. Now let's lock off our tables. I'm using F4 here, by the way, which if you don't know is a shortcut for adding the dollar signs around cell ranges. So if I press it once, it locks off the column and the row. Press it twice, it just locks the row. Press it a third time, just the column. Press it a fourth time, gets rid of them all. So just do that again, and I want to lock them all. Doing the same thing for the month, but this time this is this date column, so I just want to lock the column and not the rows. So press it 3 times, 3 times. No, in fact, I'm sorry, I need to lock all those completely. It's this little fella here. I want to lock just the column, because as we drag this down we want to capture the other test values. So what am I doing here now? I'm getting myself mixed up. There we go, lock the column, and then our test value, our cities, want to lock those completely, and we just want to lock the row on this. So there we just want to lock that, right? We just want to lock the row, sorry. There we go, that's right. Now if I press Control Shift and Enter, we should hopefully see 3 in there. There we go, as we saw before. So that's our formula completed. And if I now drag this across and down, there we go. So let's just double check. We know 3 is correct because we checked this at the beginning. Let's just check that it's correct for Paris as well. 1st of January, 3rd of January, 6th of January, and there's one in there for the 5th of January for Paris. Let's check another one at random. Let's choose London. 2 for October. Start at the bottom. We've got 1 for October there. And we've got a second one for October there, and no other Octobers. So that's correct. So that's how we use array formulas to count the number of values falling within a particular range of values, in this case using dates, and within the array formula using other functions such as month to pick out specific elements of data from our dates. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful and you'll be able to put it into use in your own spreadsheets. Please come back, keep checking up for new videos. Remember, this was brought to you by talkingexcel.com. Please come and visit the website. Love to see you down there. Leave some comments, and I'll be producing another video as soon as I can. Thank you very much. Bye bye.